What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Hail Hydra, coming back at you with another video. And today, in honor of the Oscars happening this weekend, I'm going to be going through and making my picks. I've done this a couple years now. But yeah, it's very exciting, best time of the year. Shout out the Oscars. Glad it's finally here. They got to move it back to February. Get it back to February. March is too late for them, especially middle of March. But yeah. Love the Oscars, and I'm also going to be, after I do the picks, going to be just quickly ranking the nominees for you guys, just as a little bonus. But yeah, so we're going to start off, make my picks. We see first one they got, actor in a leading role. Now, I do think it's going to be Timmy. Of course, great performance, Marty Supreme. He'd be my pick, my personal pick. But I also do think he's going to end up winning. But if Michael B. Jordan does win, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Another great performance that would be very, very deserving of a win. But yeah, I feel like Chalamet is going to win it. And then actor in a supporting role. Again, it's I think it's going to be Sean Penn. Of course, I do think Stellan Skarsgård should win. I thought his performance and sentimental value was incredible. But again, that's sort of one of those borderline performances. He kind of was a lead of that movie. But again, category fraud. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Totally. If it's like it wasn't egregious. Like I don't think it's as bad as Kieran Culkin last year or anything. But yeah, I do think Sean Penn seems like he's going to win it. Again, great performance. Wouldn't be my pick. Like I said, Stellan Skarsgård would be. But a very deserving win if it does happen. He's incredible in that movie. His gait is like best walk of characters I've had in a long time. But yeah, so coming up, we got actress in a leading role. Again, this is like the biggest lock of all time. It's Jessie Buckley. Now, my pick would probably be like my personal pick, Rose Byrne maybe, or Renata Renzi. One of those two. I thought they were both incredible. Jessie Buckley's great, and Hammond, of course. Not mad at that. Looking to be the winner at all. Kate Hudson, did not see Song Blue, but shout out Kate Hudson, great actress, so not mad at that nomination at all. Emma Stone, shout out Emma Stone. Did not think this was one of her best performances, but definitely not mad at the nomination. And then actress in a supporting role. Yeah, I mean, kind of do think it is going to be Tiana Taylor. And Inga Ibstab Lilies is probably my favorite performance of the bunch, but Tiana Taylor is a close second. Amy Madigan, she's pretty good in Weapons, but I just don't like that character. And then Wumi Masaku, she's very good. And Elle Fanning, she's decent, but I think she's a cut below the rest in this category, both in likeliness and she's about the same as Inga in likeliness, but yeah, I don't think this is the best performance in the world. And then in animated feature film, I've not seen any of these, but this is probably the biggest lock of the world. It's K-pop Demon Hunters. Will I watch it at some point? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll have seen it by the time the Oscars happen. Who knows? But yeah. Shout out to K-pop Demon Hunters. And then animated short film. I just the short film category I know nothing about, of course. So, and the ESPN pickers are usually wrong here, so I'm gonna go. They're thinking Butterfly, so I'll go The Girl Who Cried Pearls. Yeah, it feels like a lock. Not a lock. Why did I say lock? I have no idea what that's going to be. But yeah, now we got casting. Easy win for Sinners. Really well casted movie. No qualms there. Everybody in that movie is fantastic. So yeah, I do think One Battle After Another deserves a shout out because of all the non-professional actors that they have in there. Be able to pick them and get good performances out of them shows that they casted them really well. But no hate for Sinners winning it. And Secret Agent, actually, honestly, Secret Agent, that might be the stealth best. That cast is like 20 people deep of awesome characters. And yeah, great movie. Again, I don't know. Outside of Wagner Moore, I had no idea who any of those people are, so I don't know how many of them are like discoveries in Brazil or whatever, or if they were a long time working in Brazil. So can't speak to that. But yeah, Sinners, easy winner. And cinematography, I do think it's gonna be One Battle After Another, and it should be certainly one of the best looking movies of the year. Not the best looking, of course. That title belongs to probably EFIS. EFIS may be the best looking movie of the year. Shout out EFIS. But yeah, One Battle After Another, incredible looking movie. Some really fun camera work. The way they shot the car chase scenes at the end is so much fun. It really it felt like I was driving up and down those roads in a way that that just kind of blew my mind the first time I saw it. So yeah, Frankenstein being in this is a abomination, terrible looking movie. Down with Frankenstein. The other nominees are good though. I like Sinners a lot. I wouldn't be too shocked if Sinners won. With the whole thing about the way it was shot in IMAX and that really becoming a major talking point about the film. Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, then costume design. Again, I do think it will be Frankenstein. That is a travesty, of course. Well, the costumes are fine looking, I guess, but I really think Marty Supreme had some incredible looking costumes, and I do think it should get recognized in some form, but it's not gonna happen. Fortunately, Frankenstein. I don't understand the Frankenstein hype, but we'll talk about that later. And then directing, of course, it's gonna be Paul Thomas Anderson. It should be Paul Thomas Anderson. He's probably like the defining director of the 21st century, or one of them at least. Christopher Nolan maybe is number one, but it's cool that he's finally gonna get his moment to shine. Of course, should have happened already this decade in 2021 when Licorice Pizza was the best movie that year, but we'll take it. Again, I think Ryan Coogler's a close second. Honestly, if Sinners came out in 2024, it'd be a Sinners sweep and Coogler would be winning it, but just went up against Paul Thomas Anderson, unfortunately. Both would be deserving wins, and then honestly, Safdie and Joachim Trier wouldn't be mad if they won either. Chloe Zhao, Hamnet. I'll talk about it later. Fine movie, but it'd be kind of funny if Chloe Zhao already had 2 Oscars this early in her career, winning directing 2 times in this decade. That would be kind of funny, so I wouldn't be mad if it happened. Well, I would be mad, but I wouldn't hate it. And then documentary feature film, of course. I've seen none of these. Gonna say Mr. Nobody Against Putin. Not trusting the overwhelming majority of The Perfect Neighbor. 85% on ESPN. That's kind of sketching me out. a documentary short film. I don't know. Let's go with Armed with a Camera because that's a cool title. Rest in peace to Brent Renaud, I guess. And then we got film editing. Again, I do think it's going to be one battle after another. Extremely well edited movie. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever, and it just fucking flies right by. Not a single second of dead air in that movie. Yeah, it's great. It's gonna be a well-deserving win. And then we go to international feature film. Now, I think it's gonna be Sentimental Value, and I think it's a well-deserved winner. One of the best movies of the year. Joachim Trier. Nobody doing it like him right now. But Secret Agent, of course, incredible too. Haven't seen the other three, mainly because, well, it was just an accident in Surat. Never played in theaters here. I only got to see Secret Agent in theaters because it made it into Best Picture. So, yeah, I was hoping I'm gonna watch. It was just an accident, at least at some point soon. I know it just went up on Hulu the other day, so maybe I'll watch it very soon. But yeah, Sentimental Value, I'm excited that it's gonna win. Hopefully. Well, either way, if it goes Sentimental Value or The Secret Agent, I'll be happy. And then live action short film. I'm gonna go with Two People Exchanging Saliva because that's a funny title. Yeah, shout out. Again, I haven't seen any of these. Will I ever see any of them? Probably not at this point. Oh, whoops. And then makeup and hairstyling. Honestly, of these 5, I've only seen Frankenstein and Sinners. And Frankenstein winning isn't the worst thing in the world here, I guess. The makeup was pretty good. Smashing Machine winning would be sick as hell, though. The way they had The Rock looking in that movie, at least from the trailers, was really well done. So, shout out to Smashing Machine. Then music, original score. Ludwig Göransson's gonna win his 3rd Oscar. Kind of shocking. And I don't hate it. Wasn't my favorite score of the year or anything like that. Out of these 5, it's probably definitely prefer One Battle After Another and probably Begonia's score, but Sinners, the music's so integral to the movie that it winning score, not too shocking in a vacuum, although Göransson already getting his 3rd is pretty shocking. Yeah, I would have liked to see some more fun choices to win score here. Max Richter, Hamnet, that whole, the only musical moment I remember about that movie is the end when he uses the piece that he himself wrote, so I'm not hating that it's in the movie, but the piece that's in, I know it's in Arrival, and I think it's in some other movies as well, and it just, the music was making me think, damn, I wish I was watching Arrival instead right now. So I don't know if it achieved the effect it achieved on everybody else that it did on me, because of my inherent biases towards Arrival. But yeah, he's a good composer, so can't hate that. And then Frankenstein's score was not very notable. And then original song, maybe the lock of the year is Golden. Now, of course, the Oscars, if they were gonna nominate, or if they were smart, Young Fathers would be winning Best Original Score for 28 years later, and they'd be winning Best Original Song for Lowly from that soundtrack. But the Oscars are stupid, so they fucked up. Now they gotta give it to K-pop Demon Hunters. I would probably, out of these 5, my pick would be I Lied to You. Yeah, I mean, I just think, but I am glad that K-pop Demon Hunters are gonna win, because I hate when the winner of Best Song is the kind of song that just is tacked on in the credits by a pop star. It doesn't really have any meaningful impact in the movie itself. So yeah, I'm happy that last couple years we've had songs that have actually played a part in the movie. So yeah, that's fun. And then we got production design, Sinners. Yeah, I think, incredible production design. The juke joint is a really cool set. Yeah, I think my pick here would maybe be Sinners or maybe be Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme has some really cool production design, the way they create all the different locales they go to. Really cool looking movie. But yeah, I mean, it'll be Sinners, I suppose. Again, not sad by that result at all. And then sound. Yeah, I mean, F1 did sound really cool when I saw it in IMAX. Yeah, so it went. I don't hate this at all. I do think Sinners sounded really cool, and I think it's the way it sounds is kind of underrated, I guess. But yeah, I'm thinking. I thought. I mean, it was never gonna happen, so I'm not too angry. But Warfare did sound really fucking crazy. It was kind of, I was like sad that it never even got to the point where it'd be even plausible that would get a nomination. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out Warfare because it's one of the craziest sounding movies in recent years. Alright, and then visual effects, of course, we got the biggest lock of all time, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Shout out Big Jim. Shout out Avatar. Felt it should have been nominated Best Picture. It should have gotten the token blockbuster spot over F1, honestly, for being honest. But third entry in the franchise did a lot worse at the box office than the last two, so yeah, it's a bummer, but is what it is. Avatar Nation, we will stay strong. And then writing adapted screenplay, again, one battle after another, gonna win and should win. Incredible screenplay. I haven't read what's the Vineland. I haven't read Vineland, so I don't know how well it is as a work of actual adaptation. I know that Vineland is from what I've heard, it's very far away from what one battle after another ended up being, so that it's kind of a cool form of adaptation in that way, where they're kind of taking the essence of the story and turning it something brand new. So yeah, Frankenstein screenplay, hated that. And then writing original screenplay, again, as big a lock as One Battle After Another's screenplay is Sinners. And yeah, I mean, it's a strong screenplay. I there's some criticism that it falls apart in the back half once the vampires get into focus, which I don't disagree with, although I still think the vampire stuff's very cool, but I do think the first half is a lot stronger written. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, it'd be my pick, I think. I haven't seen it. It was just an accident, of course, so I can't comment on that. But the other 3 nominees are great nominees, so happy to see them getting recognized. And then, of course, we got the ultimate award, Best Picture, which I do think it is One Battle After Another's night. It's been strong the whole season, winning everything. Now, if Sinners did win, it wouldn't totally surprise me. But, yeah, I do think at the end of the day it'll be One Battle After Another. So, yeah, gonna submit those. How many seconds will the first acceptance speech be? I really, despite watching the Oscars every year, I really have no real concept of how long the acceptance speeches are. So I'm going to say 97 seconds. Sounds like a good number. Minute and a half. That seems fair. Submit my picks. And then, again, like I said, a fun little bonus. Gonna quickly go through my ranking of the Best Picture nominees. I'm just doing this on TierMaker, figured it'd be a good way to show it visually. So in dead last, and the only movie of these that I really dislike is Frankenstein. Yeah, I just found it pretty dreadful overall, and it sucks because I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro most of the time. So to see him whiff this badly on the movie was a bummer. I just thought it was just extremely overwrought, and man, I was just so disappointed at how bad it looked. And it just looked cheap when expect something from a director of that caliber to make something look really good. But yeah, it was a bummer. And then Oscar Isaac, truly bad in the role of Victor. But yeah, Lordy was good. There was some cool sequences, but yeah, overall, just a big bummer. Again, like I said, it's the only one of these movies that I actively dislike. And then Hamnet at number 9. I thought Hamnet was fine. It just didn't work on me emotionally like it did other people, which is why I think I didn't really get much out of it. Yeah, I mean, there's been worse Best Picture nominees. So yeah, shout out the Juke Brothers. They were really good though, and Jesse Buckley obviously really good as well. But yeah, it just didn't resonate with me emotionally like it did the vast majority of people. So it's a bummer, but it is what it is. And then at number 8, we got F1. It's a bog standard sports movie. I don't hate the nominee or nomination. Like I said, I thought the de facto blockbuster nominee should have been Avatar, but that was never gonna happen. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but I don't dislike it. It's a fun time at the movies, But will I ever watch it again? Probably not. Maybe catch it on TV or something, but it doesn't air on TV. It's gonna be on Apple, so it'd be the perfect movie to catch like the last half hour on TNT before an NBA game was gonna start 10 years ago. But we're past those times. Which is sad, but is what it is. And then at number 7, we got Begonia. It was a good movie. I liked it. Didn't love it. Yeah, I mean, it's Stone. She's good. Jesse Plemons, he's good. Yorgos's direction's good. Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie and a fun nomination. And then at number 6, we got Secret Agent, and a really, really, really cool political thriller. It's almost like a cross between like a political thriller and a hangout movie, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah, it was a really cool melding of genre and, a very, very poignant look at life in Brazil in the 70s and how it mirrors today. Yeah, I think it's worth a watch. If you're dissuaded by the runtime or the subtitles, don't be. It's a great, it flies right by. And yeah, watch movies with subtitles. They're good. Subtitles, pro subtitles here on Hail Hydra. And then number 5, we got Sinners. Again, a great movie. Really cool story. The way it was able to become a phenomenon despite Variety and all the trades trying their best to be like, oh, Sinners is flopping despite making so much money. And yeah, Coogler's a great director. One of the best blockbuster directors we have right now. So I'm excited. I'm disappointed his next movie is going to be Black Panther 3, but which I like his Black Panther, the first one. First one's good. Yeah, I would like to see him continue making his original stuff. So hopefully Sinners is his inception moment, and Black Panther 3 is just his Dark Knight Rises, like contractual obligation, got to finish this up. And he goes back to making original stuff because that's what I like about Hollywood. Big original movies, and we don't get enough of them. So having another guy that's able to make big original stuff is cool. And yeah, so shout out Coogler. And then at number 4, we got Train Dreams. Yeah, I saw this the other day. Finally, I was really moved by it. I was found it very, very moving. I know I keep saying the word moving, but it was a moving portrait of grief and life and death, and yeah, it was edited. I really liked the way that movie was edited. It almost felt like a 2-hour long montage, and even bordering on like TikTok edit at some points, but that makes it sound negative, but I did think it worked really well for the movie, especially the ending. Just had me crying like a baby. Really, I think I cried like 3 or 4 times during the movie. Yeah, William H. Macy, one of my favorite characters in recent years in movies. He has a quote about having friends everywhere that really stuck with me. And yeah, it's a really, really good movie. I think it's well worth the watch. Yeah, shout out Cliff Bentley. And then number 3, we got Sentimental Value, one of the best movies of the year for sure. And Joachim Trier is just on a really cool run right now. And I'm glad he's continuing to collaborate with Renata Rensby, because I think she's one of the best actors working right now. And yeah, it's just really touching movie about working through life within art. It was a real theme this year. A lot of movies about that kind of thing, like Testament of Anne Lee off the top of my head, Blue Moon, etc., etc. So yeah, it was a really good movie. Stellar performances all around, and again made me cry a couple times. So, and number 2, Marty Supreme. Very very exciting movie. When it was coming out, I saw a lot of comparisons to, well, Uncut Gems, of course, because very similar thematically and structurally. But I saw a lot of comparisons to Catch Me If You Can, which is maybe my favorite movie ever. Top 5, certainly. And yeah, I thought it was very similar to Catch Me If You Can. And I thought it was a really good choice. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Chalamet's best performance so far. He plays fucking Marty Mauser so well. That arrogance, the cockiness of the character, able to portray it so well, and then the way he flips the switch right in the ending scene. Really well done. And yeah, it's incredible ensemble all around. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Zion, Mr. Wonderful, Tyler the Creator, just all turning in great performances. Abel Ferreira. It's just really great stuff all around. And then it's the boring choice, but at number 1, got one battle after another. Yeah, it should win Best Picture, and it's gonna. It's a movie that continues to get better and better every time I watch it. So I think I've seen it 4 times now, and yeah, I think it's cool that PTA is finally getting his moment, and it's well deserved. You know, I think he's probably the best filmmaker of the 21st century. So yeah. Shout out PTA. Shout out one battle after another. And shout out you guys for watching this. I know the only person who's actually going to watch this all the way through is Colia. So shout out you, Colia. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.